Hey guys, welcome to Draw with Sandy at the Little Artistic Nook. Today we'll be drawing this cute little gingerbread cookie. Alright, so to start our gingerbread, I'm just going to use a 2H pencil and sketch a little bit of a guide. So begin by drawing a circle near the top of your page for the head, and then we will draw out a wide V shape underneath the head for the arms, and then a little vertical line for the body, and then a narrower upside down V to sort of guide our legs. Alright, and once you've got your guide, you can either just keep working with your pencil, or I'm going to switch over now to my black marker. So let's begin by drawing through the head of our gingerbread, and I'm going to start right at the top, and I'm going to start to curve my line down around the sides. So what I'm just going to do is I'm only going to come about halfway down the circle so that it almost just looks like we have a nice big rainbow shape coming across the top of our page. Once you have that sort of basic U shape, you can start to curve the line down the sides of the face, but we're going to keep a nice open bottom. Then we'll go ahead and start drawing in the face, and I'm going to do one eye winking and one eye open. So starting on the right, I'm just going to draw a big oval, and then I'm going to have my gingerbread sort of looking down and forward, so placing that little half circle near the bottom of the eye and a small heart above, and then draw a little curve extending out to the right for an eyelid. Then you can go ahead and just color in around your highlights. To draw in the winking eye on the left, you just want to find that center point of your first eye, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little sideways V so that the closed part is coming towards the center of the face. And this little point here at the bottom of the V, that's going to be about halfway down the height of your first eye. Then right in between, we'll draw a little smile. So I'm just going to draw a little sort of smirking smile, so rising up towards my open eye. And then we'll have a little U underneath so that his mouth is open, and you'll see why later. And then to draw in a tongue, you can just draw a little curve inside of this U shape for the mouth. Now we're going to add in our cheeks. So I'm going to start over on the right and just draw my curve coming from the inside edge of the right eye and wrapping all the way around the bottom. And then we'll just do a complete oval underneath the winking eye on the left. To finish off our gingerbread's head, we're just going to bring this outside edge down towards the bottom, leaving a space for a little bow tie. So when we draw in our bow tie, I'm going to place the center circle so that it's in line with the open part of my gingerbread's mouth. And then for the sides of my bow, I'm just going to have them so that they're just a little bit separated from this middle circle. So you can trace a little curved line that mirrors the left and right of your circle. And then we'll draw what looks like the bottom half of a triangle, angling up in towards the face, a vertical line coming down the length of the page, and then connecting back at that little center. And do the same thing on both sides, and then bring the bottom edges of your head in almost to touch the outside edge of the bow. Next up, we'll begin drawing in the arms. So I'm going to start on the right, and I'm going to make just a small little curve to turn away from the bow, and then find that guideline you drew, and you're going to draw your line up and around this guide. So once you come near the top of your guide, you'll start to curve your marker or your line back towards the bottom, and then bringing it back towards the center of your gingerbread. So you don't want to come all the way to that little vertical line. You want to leave a lot of space. We can fill it in later. Then do the same thing on the left, making your first little turn away from the bow, and then coming up this time probably towards the top left corner, curving at the top for the end of the arm, and then bringing it back towards the body center. So now that we have the arms done, you can just check to see that they're coming in towards the center so that you have sort of the thickness of a body that you want. Then what you're going to do is we're going to start on the left. You're going to make just the slightest little curve coming down. And you're basically going to come down, following that guideline for the leg, curving at the bottom, and then bringing it back up towards the center of your gingerbread's belly. We're going to do the exact same thing over on the right. So I'm going to start just under the arm, making that small little curve, and then coming down, following that guideline, rounding at the bottom for the foot. And you just want to try to make them match up so that one foot's not a lot shorter than the other, and then curving it back up towards the center. And when they meet, instead of having a little pointy meeting, you can just round that. So here comes the fun part where you get to decorate your gingerbread, and I will walk you through my decorations, but obviously you can decorate your little guy however you want. So I'm going to start here by making a little dividing line right underneath the arms, and I'm going to create a second line that goes just underneath, so almost like a little belt. And then I'm just going to draw some little vertical lines through so that I've got some little squares here. And then I think I'm just going to do all my decorations the same. So just a little bit above the bottom of the foot, I'm going to do a little bit of a wavy line. And then I'm going to create a second wavy line underneath it, so I sort of have that thick, just like a little squiggle of icing. And then maybe some little dots just above it. And I'll do the same thing on this right leg over here, drawing in that little wavy line and adding those little dots. And this is kind of making me hungry for a cookie. And then again, I'm going to do the same little squiggly lines just a little bit away from the top of the hands over on the arms. And I have all of my little dots facing in towards the center of my gingerbread's body. Okay guys, but as you finish your decorations, let me tell you, this is a little bit of a sneaky gingerbread. And he is actually having his own snack right now. So what I'm going to do, drawing out of the left hand, is I'm going to draw in a little chocolate chip cookie. So starting just along the outside edge of my left hand, I'm just going to draw a circle. And I'm not going to finish the circle. I'm going to leave it open at some point. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw sort of a wavy line coming back towards the hand. And what that's going to do is I'm just going to start the little bite that my gingerbread has taken of his little cookie. So when you draw your little wavy line, what you can do is draw another wavy line just underneath so that we sort of get this illusion that this cookie is nice and thick and gooey and warm. Then of course we're going to give our chocolate chip some chocolate chips, and I'm going to give it a little face. So for my chocolate chip cookie's face, I'm going to do two little triangles with the points pointing toward the center and a little round open mouth, because this cookie is like, hey, what's the big deal? Before we finish, I'm just going to draw across a little ground line. So just a loose little line coming just above the bottom of the feet, making sure to cross through the center of the body. And then of course, what is a cookie without a glass of milk? So just here on the right, I'm going to draw out a glass. So to do that, I'm going to come to my ground line and I'm just going to draw a slightly angled vertical line down towards the ground. Then I'm going to do another one so that what we have is sort of a really, really slight difference between width at the top and bottom. And then draw a really shallow curve to connect the lines at the top. You can draw the opposite curve, connecting those lines again to create the opening of your cup. And then decide how much milk you want and make those same curved lines inside the edges of your glass. We'll finish off our milk by giving him some little eyes. So I'm just going to do simple little black dots. And then I'm going to do a little squiggly mouth, so he's kind of like, it's a cookie eating a cookie. So to do that, you can make just like a little curvy W. And that is our cute little gingerbread cookie, guys. Thank you so much for drawing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And until next time for another Draw with Sandy at the Little Artistic Nook, keep making art and keep smiling.